Why Dogs Bury Bones. Author Greg Ray and illustrator Jenny Miller. Have you ever wondered why dogs will often want to try to bury a bone underground when there's no one else around? It is because they worry you'll steal what is left of their morrow meal. Or is there more you should know as to why dogs want to bury their bone? It's a question that's listed many good minds across the world and for endless times. And so it was that a much loved vet planned to discover why dogs kept burying their bones in dirt and clay to dig them up on another day. The vet was known as Harry Hoop, who was a genuine doggy snoop. He wanted to be the one to learn why dogs have an instant yearn to dig around, to push and scratch, to make a hole in the garden patch, into which to bury their chewed on bone and tap it down with nothing shown. Because old Harry wanted to be a star presenter on TV, he hired a camera and media crew, expecting to find the first real clue that could explain this doggy habit, with cameras set and ready to grab it for screening on the World Wide Web, making Harry Hoop an instant celeb. His search began in the Aussie outback with a cattle dog asleep on a sack. His name was Blue, and it could be true. He was the one who actually knew the answer to why dogs bury bones in dirt or mud or under stones. Blue looked around at the bare surrounds, at the dust and scrub and dry parched ground. At last, he stretched and shook his coat and roughly said, "Doc, don't be a goat. The reason we bury bones in the ground is because we're smart and always found we're really not able, as I'm sure you'll see, to climb up and bury our bones in a tree." With that advice, Blue wandered away to find a cool spot to lie in the shade. Back to the city, Harry Hoop sped, ready to forget what Blue had said. He knew he now must change his tack to avoid being called a silly old quack. So he set off to see a rotund lab, best known for her excess flab. Her name was Lily, and she lived to eat and dribbled a flood at the sight of meat. Lily sat up and posed for the crew, claiming to be the one who knew why dogs hide their bones from sight. It's all about dog food rights. If people see we've food to spare, they may decide to cut our share. But if we hide any such clue, we'll still get food when it's due. While Harry wrapped the interview up, he came across a Pekingese pup. "My name is Miss Perfect, I'm proud to announce, and as for the truth, Lily hasn't had an ounce. It's not to do with how much we eat, and all to do with being tidy and neat. I bury my bones out of sight to keep my yard clean and bright." Harry then made a public appeal to find someone who could best reveal the reason dogs want to bury bones, which started a flood of replies by phone. The best call came from an unusual source, a squirrel called Hank from the US, of course. Sounding like TV's Kermit the Frog, Hank told the doc where he'd gone wrong. "Dogs don't know why they hide old food, but I'm happy to explain in an interview." Dr. Harry agreed to Hank's request and hopped on a plane to the great US. By the time he arrived at Central Park, it was late at night. It was cold and dark. He found Hank sitting in the fork of a tree, and he said to the doc, "Put the camera on me, because I have the answer for the world to know, which I'll share with you on your TV show." As the camera rolled, Hank began to reveal that it's not so easy to find a good meal. Why do you think that squirrels store nuts? And bones are buried by curious mutts. It's all to ensure that when times get tough, we have enough essential food stuff. Harry knew then he need search no more. The mystery was solved, of that he was sure. So next time you see a dog dig around, scratching up earth or building a mound, don't interfere, just leave it alone. Allow it the space to bury its bone. It's a habit of dogs over many a year. It's their way of solving an animal fear of not having food when times get hard, with a bone buried in their backyard.